We are going to talk about how to become a successful coach, life coach, health coach. My name is Marta Carlo. I am the founder of the International Parenting and Health Institute, which I founded in 2009. We're celebrating our 16-year anniversary. We are represented in 70 countries around the world. I have been teaching professionals, training professionals, mentoring professionals for the last 16 years. And I have been coaching, training, working with clients for the last 27 years. I'm going to be 51 in a few weeks, October 29th to be specific. So before we move forward to get into the business of becoming a coach, we want to first evaluate, do I have the qualities that match becoming a successful life health coach? What are some of those qualities? First and foremost, you are naturally curious. You love being curious about things. You question things. You wonder, why am I alive? What happens after death? You're just a very naturally curious person. You enjoy asking questions, and you also enjoy listening. You're the kind of person that while you're very inquisitive and while you are discovering new things, you also enjoy listening. So you're an active listener. Active listening is a really important part of being a very successful health or life coach. You also love being a detective. You love connecting the dots. You love picking up on clues. You're the kind of person that tends to notice, I wonder if that's connected to that. Or, now that I'm evaluating this subject, there are a few missing pieces. And so you're the kind of person that you are a natural detective. That's another quality that it takes to become a very successful coach. What are some other qualities? You're neutral. We all judge. Every human being has judgment. It's part of our nature. But you also have the ability to be neutral when needed. You're not quick to judge. You're the kind of person that will take a step back. You'll even ask around for other feedback before you jump to a conclusion. So you're the kind of person that you don't assume right away. Okay, so you're curious. You are a natural detective. You don't make quick assumptions. Okay, so those are the first three qualities of becoming a very successful coach. Empathy. You are empathetic. We don't want to confuse sympathy for empathy. All right, sympathy is, I feel so bad for you. Empathy is, I understand what you're going through, but I also understand that you have the power within you to get through this. You have the ability to feel others and feel what they're going through, step into their shoes. And at the same time, which is the next quality to become a successful coach, is you have boundaries. You have very strong boundaries so that you don't get caught up in what they're going through, and you can take a step back at the same time so that you are not influenced by it, but you can be very objective in holding the space. So again, you are curious. You're naturally curious. You're a detective. You are someone that you ask before you assume. You don't jump to conclusions. You have empathy. You have boundaries. And you are a collaborator, because to be a successful coach takes collaboration. You see, it's not about telling someone what to do because you know better. And it's not about fixing someone. It's about helping someone understand why they got stuck where they are, why they're running around in circles, what's holding them back. You're helping them through that process so that they can discover for themselves what it is that's holding them back. And then you're collaborating with them so that together you can come up with solutions that are practical, realistic, and specifically customized for them. Now, does that mean if you find yourself having one or two of these traits and not all of them, does that mean that you cannot be a successful coach? Absolutely not. You can be a successful coach. So here's the ultimate question. Are you willing and are you ready to go through a journey of tremendous personal development along with your professional development? If you are someone that you are craving massive personal development, you want to know about yourself, you want to learn more about your personal triggers, you really want to be challenged, coaching may be the profession for you, because that is the natural path of a coach. As coaches, we are learning how to show up for others, but we're also learning so much about ourselves. And the more we learn about ourselves And the more that we have the ability to level up and grow, the more we're able to show up for others. Whether you are someone that has these qualities or whether you have just a few of them, if ultimately you're just very passionate about growing and learning and you want to really level up, coaching is for you. Now, let's start looking deeper. What happens if you've become a coach? So you have all these qualities, you know you're meant to be a coach, and you're like, you know what? I took a life coach certification, I took a health coach certification, but I'm not really getting anywhere with it. What's going on? Well, you want to take a step back and you want to evaluate, what is it specifically that got me into coaching to begin with? What is it so much that I love about coaching? Maybe it's because you went through a health challenge, like maybe you overcame a sleep challenge, maybe a nutrition challenge, maybe you're someone that lost a lot of weight, maybe you're someone that had a lot of anxiety or depression and you overcame it. And so through your own life and health journey, you overcame something and then you became so passionate, you said, I want to help other people. So that's what led you to become a coach. And that's wonderful. So use that. Use the experiences that you have had. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, how to masterfully use your experiences, because you want to remain professional. You don't want to just put your whole life out there, but you do want to give people some insight so that they understand that, oh, wow, she's been through a weight loss journey too, or he struggled with sleep. Wow. Okay. So when people know that you also went through a struggle, what led you to become a coach, that also helps people be more trusting of you, like you. They have a connection with you. They have a deeper connection with you than someone who knows something and is trying to tell them something. Expertise and specialization. One of the greatest opportunities, if you are currently a personal trainer, a health coach, a life coach, anybody in the health industry, and you're helping others and you dabbled into coaching, but you're not really taking off with it, find an area of expertise or specialty. Again, it could be something that you've overcome, like a sleep challenge, a health challenge, like maybe weight loss, okay, anxiety, depression, etc. There's so many. And then there are certifications that specialize in that. So for example, my institute, the International Parenting and Health Institute, our specialty is adult, child, and teen sleep, also pregnancy sleep. So we train professionals in the specific specialties of sleep so that they could then bring on sleep coaching into their life coaching business, personal training business. If they're a nurse, if they're a doctor, a pediatrician, they can bring sleep coaching, for example. We also offer pre-postnatal nutrition coaching. So for example, we get a lot of Integrative Institute of Nutrition graduates coming to our program because they want to specialize in pre and postnatal nutrition. All right, so you get the idea. If you choose a specialty to add on to your life and to your health coaching, it's very helpful because you will be able to connect with people specifically going through that challenge. It becomes a lot easier for you when you pick an area of expertise or specialty. Now, does that mean that if you pick an area of specialty or expertise, that you cut yourself off from all the other areas of life coaching? Absolutely not. You can still coach in all those other areas. However, you're drawing people in through a specific channel. It becomes a lot easier. And if you look at the world of sleep, sleep challenges are increasing. They've been on the rise. So adding something like a sleep specialty to your health or life coaching is very, very beneficial because there's so many people in need and they need support. All right. Secondly, training and certification. Now, does everybody need training and certification? Not necessarily. There are many people that already are naturally gifted in coaching others. Maybe they've been doing it informally. Maybe they've been mentoring with someone in a specific field for a very long time and they're just naturally coaches. And so they might not need specifically to participate in a training or certification. However, what I will tell you is that the majority of people do need training and certification. Why? It's such a fine line when you're a coach to not cross over into diagnosing, into treating, into examining, the language that you're using, your contracts and agreements. There's so much that goes on in coaching that is a fine line, and you don't want to cross that line and get yourself into a risk or liability. So when you take a high quality, and I mention high quality certification program because there's so many out there. I mean, right now, the coaching certification is blowing off the charts, and you're seeing coaching certifications that are offering weekend programs, one-day programs, $25 for free, right? There's all these different kinds of certification programs that are out there, but you want to invest wisely. Why? Because this is a serious profession. And becoming a skillful coach doesn't happen overnight. Anybody who tries to sell you on that, who tries to guarantee or sell you on the fact that, oh yeah, you can be successful overnight as a coach, they're fooling you and they're misleading you. I'll be the first to tell you. And I always tell people who come to our institute, this is a very serious profession, and you want to ensure that you're prepared, you're ready, and you're committed on this path. Otherwise, it's not going to serve you. If you're just looking for an overnight certification, if you're just looking for that quick certification to add to your repertoire, to your resume, this is not going to be the program for you. So it's important to begin to evaluate the different training programs out there. Ask how long their programs are and how they prepare you practically, okay? That is the key. What is the practical component of the certification program? Are they reviewing case studies with you? Are they reviewing contracts and agreements? Are they reviewing the coaching process, the questioning? They might have all of that written down in theory, so you're going to learn all of that in theory, but you want to put it into practice. And a lot of the classes that I teach and the mentoring that I give, we do a lot of role play. So we role play asking questions. We role play how to refer out properly. We role play what if a client gets stuck or if they're pushing back, how to respond to that. So there's a lot of role playing going on in preparation. All right, effective communication. So oftentimes we think that having the answers or finding the solution for our clients is the key. However, a lot of the power is in the questions. The questions that you ask to your clients are vital. And not just the questions, but when you collaborate with them to give them action steps. I'll give you an example. Avoid eating late at night. So when you say the word avoid, you are already putting a limitation that a lot of people will struggle with, because as human beings, we like to be free. We don't like to be told avoid something. So one of the best ways to neutralize that situation so that your client doesn't get into this internal battle is to say, we're going to replace late time eating with such and such. We're going to actually move the late time eating to this earlier time, and we're going to replace the nighttime eating with another activity. So when you use the word replace or substitute, that is an example of effective communication that can really support your clients. Next, business plan. Having a plan is vital. You don't want to just be thinking through and flying along. You want to be very clear. What is your vision? Who do you want to help? Why do you want to help them? Do you want to work full-time? Do you want to work part-time? What do you want to charge? What do you need to charge in order to support your lifestyle? Okay, your rent, your bills, and the things that you enjoy. So you want to be very, very clear about those aspects. If you are not, and you're flying by the seat of your pants, then literally that's what you're going to get in return. Some days you might do well, some days you might not do well, some days you'll get clients, some days you won't, simply because you don't have a plan. So you want to have a business plan. Branding and online presence. It's important that you are not afraid to get out there. You get out there, you put yourself out there. It doesn't matter if you have even 0 people coming to your page. That's okay, because guess what? If nobody comes, you're practicing. You're practicing. And the more that you show up and the more you practice, the better it gets. So trust the learning process. Put yourself out there, continuously put yourself out there, even if no one shows up. That is your practice. That is your training ground. And then the more you practice, the more you show up, you're going to start to build your online presence and your following. And then lastly, marketing and networking. There's so many ways to market and network. First of all, it's not just online. Take advantage of your community, friends, colleagues, the Chamber of Commerce, local businesses. When you meet with other people, don't be afraid to share who you are and what you do. Hey, I'm new to the area. or I just started a business. In case you find anybody stops by or happens to mention that they're going through a sleep challenge or a health challenge, here's my card. Here's what I do. I'd also love to refer your business. So you, again, want to collaborate when you network. It's not just about you. You want to find ways to also support other businesses. And the more that you market and the more that you network, not just online, but locally with others, then you're going to also grow your presence, your online following, your in-person following, and you're going to get referrals. Commitment is key. You commit to all of this and you will be successful. And patience. It takes patience. Because when you are starting and growing a business, think of it like a garden. When you're planting a seed, depending on the flower or the tree or the plant, it can take a few days, it can take a few weeks, it could take a few months, it could take even longer for it to blossom and bloom. So keep that in mind. So the moment you plant something, your job is to nurture what you've planted. You want to water it. You want to ensure that the soil is good. You want to ensure it's getting sunshine. Okay, that's just like your business, or even like taking care of a baby. You want to nurture it. You want to show up. You want to be committed to nurturing. And then it will take a life of its own. You'll notice that the more you show up to nurture your garden, then things will start to grow and blossom and bloom. Same with a baby. When you care and nurture for your baby, same thing. So that is what it takes to have a very successful health and life coaching business. I look forward to joining you to share more tips. If you want to specialize in coaching in the areas of pregnancy, adult, teen, and child sleep, you can visit parentinghealthinstitute.com. We also have a pre-postnatal nutrition coach certification, an integrative breastfeeding educator certification, and so much more. You can check us out. Again, we've been around since 2009, celebrating our 16-year anniversary, represented in 70 countries around the world. And we really are passionate about ensuring that you gain the skills that are needed to support you so that you are successful. All right, take care. Bye-bye.